Hello guys. So today we'll study about sets, dictionaries and functions in Python. In my last video we studied about lists in Python. So let's not waste time, move on to the video. I'm gonna use Jupyter Notebook. You can use any uh, tool you want. So first let's activate activate my environment, GPU test. Now I'll open my Jupyter Notebook. So this is my Jupyter Notebook. So I'll open a file, a Python 3 file in my GPU test kernel. I'm using this kernel as I've installed all my required libraries in this. You can use Python 3 also. So let's start. So first we'll study some things about tuples also. So tuples are mostly similar to lists. They do the same work as the lists do. So just there's a one basic difference in both of them, that is tuples are immutable and lists are mutable. What that means is we can't add or remove elements from a tuple. Let's say my tuple, if I'm gonna create a new tuple. So in lists we created lists with the help of square brackets. Tuples are created with the help of small brackets. So similarly we can use different anything like any string value, float values, anything we can use, right? So this is my tuple. Let's run it. So this is my tuple. So one thing to note here is, like if I try to append my tuple dot append, this append function we saw in our last video, this function is used to add something to a list. If we use this, and let's say if we want to add 65 to our tuple, if I run this, it shows tuple object has no attribute append. It's because tuples are immutable. We can't add or remove anything from tuple, but we can add or subtract two different tuples. What I mean is, let's say there is another tuple, my tuple 1, and this is 1 2 3 like this, and if I want to make a new tuple and I want to add these both, my tuple and my tuple 1, so this command is performed without any errors. New tuple. So you can see up to 0.23 is my first tuple, this is my second tuple. So you can add two different tuples, but you can't you can't add or remove things from a tuple. That's it. Otherwise all the things are same as in lists. So let's move on to sets. So what are sets is, set is you can say it's a data structure in Python. It's iterable, it's mutable. The main advantage of a set is all the elements whichever are present in the set are unique. By unique, what I mean is, if let's say there is a set, also set is created using curly braces. Let's say I have put these elements, 1 2 2 3 4 5 6 6 6 7 8 9. Let's say this is my tuple, this is my set, and there are multiple elements which are duplicated present in the set. So if I see what is there, it shows 2 only one time, but I have created 2 times and 6 also 3 times. Here 6 is only one time. So what a set does is, it chooses only the elements which are unique in a set. That's it. And similarly, what a dictionary is. So we'll talk about dictionaries. Dictionaries has two arguments. One is a key and other is the value. So there is a key associated to each value whatever is present in the dictionary. So let's say there's a dictionary I will create. So dictionaries are also created as same as sets. We use curly braces for them also. So first we'll put our key, let's say 1 is my key, and I use colon. Then I enter the value that I want. So let's say I want hello. So, and let's say create another 2, let's say 5, right? So this, the first place is the key, this is the value. 1 is the key, hello is the value. Here 2 is the key, 5 is the value. So this key can be an integer or can be a string value. Similarly, this value can be an integer or a string or a float value. So, and like if I try to print, so it shows 1 hello 2 5. So what is the function of this key? We can like we have seen in lists, like how do we access elements? We access elements through indices, but in dictionaries we access elements through their key values. So let's say if I want to access this 5, that is this value, this is associated with the key 2. So what I'll do is dict 2 and we'll get 5. We will use square brackets for accessing these elements. So this is a dictionary. We can use as many elements as we want in a dictionary. So this was all about sets and dictionaries and tuples. So you can practice more on these functions, these data types, these data structures, and you'll get it. Similarly, let's move on to functions. So first let me tell you why functions are necessary in while programming. Functions are necessary because let's say there is some specific task. Let's say you wanna square a number several times in your code. So if you do not use a function, what you have to do is you have to write the code for squaring a number multiple times in your code, which makes your code like quite messy. So using functions, if you use a function, you just declare a function at the top and you just call the function every time you want to square any element, right? Also these can be like these are quite fast then simple. These using this your code will be very organized and not messy. So how do we define a function? We use def keyword. Def, we write our function name, let's say func is my function name, and we use colon, and then if we press enter we'll get an indentation. Whatever we write with indentation will be a part of our function. So let's say if we want to print hello. So what was the mistake here is whatever we write we have to use small brackets for the function, right? It doesn't matter if you want to put some values to some arguments in this. It depends on the question. Let's say it requires no arguments. If you use this, if anytime I call my function func, it will print. It will let's say if I call this, it will go to this function, it will check the inside statements what is written there and it will work accordingly. I call this, it went to this, it this is print hello written there, so it printed hello. So in functions, one more thing, one more type of functions, let's say func1, in which you pass some arguments. Let's say x you have passed. So why we need to pass these arguments? Because if we want to perform some operation, let's say square operation we want, so we'll change our name to square. So now if I want to square, so we'll print x star star 2. This star star 2 is used for power, like x to the power 2. We'll define it. Now let's say if I want to do a square of 5, so I'll call the square function and I'll put 5 in that, and if I run this, I'll get 25 as the output. Similarly, I can call this function as many times as I want, and I can do as many as operations I want by just calling it with a value. So square of 75 is this. So these are some info on the functions in Python. And let's say there is a lambda function used in Python. Let's say we have studied about lists, so let's say my list is this. Functions can be used to functions can be used on lists, or on any values, or on tuples also. So let's say my list was this 27 97 54 62 61, let's say 3248. So this is my list, let's say. Now what I want is, I want only the elements which are even from the list. So we can use either a function like using define and all. One more thing, the other way of finding the even numbers is we can use a lambda function. So let's say I want to make a new list. Final list is equal to, I'll use the keyword list that we have studied in our last video. This list function is used to create list. So we are making a new list, so we have used list, and we use filter lambda. This is lambda function. This is the way this is written. So lambda, we can use x colon such that x percentage 2 equal to 0 list. So what this is, lambda is a function and x is the argument. So and our statement in the function is x percent 2 equal to 0. What this means is, if x is divided by 0, the remainder should be 0. So what that means is the number will be even, because all even numbers divided by 2 gives a remainder of 0. So if this statement is true, then it will give true. So if this is not equal to 0, then it will give false. So what we are passing in this function is our list. We have used list here, so we are passing our list into this function, and this function will check if this condition is valid or not. X refers to the every element. First x will be 5, it will check 5% 2 equal to 0, but it is not 0, so it will give us false. Then it will check for 7, similarly it will be false again, then 22, then it will be true. Like this it will check, right? So and similarly, what filter is used because we only want the elements which are true. So it will filter out all the true elements from the list, and list is used because we want to create a new list. So our final list is created. So if we check our final list, you can see only the even numbers which are present in this are in the final list. So this is another way in which we can use a function on a list. Instead of using defining a function and all, we can use lambda function. This is lambda. One more thing, this filter function, what this does is this just copy the value from the list and enter in a new list. It can't do any operations. Let's say I wanted to square every element of this list. This filter operation can't do that. So if there is a different function for it, so let's say I'll create my new list. squared list is equal to list function will use list. Now map function will use for if as we want to do some operations on our list, we want to change their values. Again we'll use lambda x or z, any value you can use here. Let's say x, let's say a we are using. A refers to the every element of whatever list is passing. It will traverse the list. So let's say, and we want after colon we have to write the statement. We'll write a star star 2 because we have to square elements. A star star 2 means a to the power 2, and we'll pass our list in this, right? And if I there is a missing bracket, if I run this, it executed successfully. Let's check our new list, squared list. So you can see our list was this, and now this is our squared list: 5, 25, 7, 49, 22, 44, like that. So in this fashion you can perform these operations using functions and using lambda functions. Also, some more things what you can do is, let's say let's talk about reducer. What is reducer is, let's say this was our list, final list, and we want the sum of all these elements as a single output. So there's different functions that we can use that are already present in Python. So we need to import some libraries for that. So I'm using functools and operator, import operator as O. So I imported two libraries, functools and operator. Will require these libraries. Let's say now I want to get sum of this squared list. So what I'll do is, sum is equal to f dot reduce. F means our functools and reduce is a function present in our library functools. So f dot reduce and o dot add, and we'll pass list to it. So let's see what this means is, f is a function, f is a functools library, and reduce is a function present in that library. So, and o dot add is an operator and list. So what this does is, o dot add, it will go to the first element of our list. Sorry, I'll put squared list here, squared list. So what this does is, o dot add, it will go to the first element, it will add first two elements first, 25 plus 49, then we'll get some value, then again we'll reduce it, and again use this sum of this and add to this value, then we'll get a new value, we'll use this sum and add to this value. So in the similar fashion we'll get the sum until this, sum of this plus this, and we'll get our final result. So if we try to see what is the result, we can see this is the list and the sum of our squared list. If you want to see it's consecutive printing of sums, let's say we have used this was reducer, right? We have used reduce function. Reduce was used to give a single final output of sum of all the lists. Let's say we want to give consecutive sum as output, so we use a different accumulator function for that. So for that we require import iter tools as I, and so this is a library, iter tools, that in this library only accumulator is present, so we need to import this library. Now we can do is, we can print list will make So I'm writing a code in one line only. You can use 2-3 lines, no worries. Print list I dot accumulate. I is a library and accumulate is a function present in that. Small brackets. We'll pass our list in that. What is our list? Let's say we'll work on squared list itself. Squared list. We have passed our list and we can use lambda function here. Lambda x comma y colon x plus y. So let's see what happens here is we have passed our squared list, that is this list to the lambda function. What does lambda function do? It takes two arguments, it adds both. So it will take first 25 plus 49, it will add both. Then we have used accumulate function in a list. So what will this do is it will create a list with the first element as sum of this and this. Then it will go to the next element and it will take x as 49 and y as 484, and then again it will add both and get accumulated to our list. Then first element was sum of this, second element was sum of this, third element sum of these, sum of these, sum of this, like this it will happen. So if we execute this, there was some issue. Let's say one more bracket was list I dot accumulate squared list lambda where's the, it seems two brackets are missing, I think. Yeah, two small brackets are missing, so be careful while writing these codes. So this, you see, first 25 sum is printed, 25 plus 49 74, 484 plus 49 558, like this it will be printed, means consecutive sums. So this was all about sets, dictionaries and functions, and about tuples also. So you can practice more, you can practice this stuff. The more you practice, the more you will get. That's it for these. We'll study about loops in our next video. Loops, arrays, vectors, we'll study about those. So till then, goodbye. If you have any doubts, you can ask me in the comment section. I'll surely reply. Thank you. Goodbye.